And welcome, this is Baller Scuba with Let's Play Mass Effect. Now this is going to be a blind Let's Play. I have almost zero knowledge about what I'm going to get into with this game, but it is highly recommended to me, and I am looking forward to it. Let's start a new career.
Welcome to Alliance Military Database. Classified information requested.
Right, I have a feeling that she is going to be losing my profile, just like she did when I did the vote video.
Establishing secure connection. Secure connection confirmed.
Yeah, I'm not going to be John Shepard. No. I'm going to be a female character.
Please log in to access your profile.
That clearly won the vote. And her name's not going to be Jane. As suggested by you, Stefan88, this is going to be Mariah. Well, we're going to have the character's name be Mariah. We're probably going to change that appearance quite a bit before we get underway. But once again, I have a feeling they're going to lose my profile.
Warning, data corruption detected.
So I'm going to have to rebuild it from scratch.
Please reconstruct profile. Confirm pre-service history.
In terms of pre-service history, it was pretty clear. People wanted me to be Earthborn. You were an orphan raised on the streets of the great megatropolises covering Earth. You escaped the life of petty crime and underworld gangs by enlisting with the Alliance military when you turned 18.
Confirm psychological profile.
This vote was a little bit closer, but Ruthless ended up winning. Throughout your military career, you have held fast to one basic rule: get the job done. You've been called cold, calculating, and brutal. I have a feeling I'm going to be called a bitch many times throughout this game. Your reputation for ruthless efficiency makes your fellow soldiers wary of you. But when failure is not an option, the military always goes to you first.
Confirm military specialization.
Now, the military specialization, it was a very close vote, primarily between Infiltrator and Sentinel. Those were the two most popular choices, but I'm going to end up going with Sentinel. And hopefully this works out well for me. It seems like the most complicated class. We'll see what I can do.
Confirm facial identification.
But indeed, we are going to be changing the appearance. And I'll be back when that's done. And this is going to be Mariah. Usually I'm not very good at these, but I'm hoping for the best today. Let's go ahead and get the
Profile
game
reconstruction complete.
underway. We're going to accept that. Looks good to me.
Identification confirmed.
Now, with most of this, I don't entirely know what I'm doing, but combat difficulty I'm going to keep at normal. The rest I'm going to keep at default, and then subtitles on. And autosave, sure. Why not autosave?
Well, what about Shepard? Earthborn, but no record of her family.
Doesn't have one. She was raised on the streets, learned to look out for herself.
She got most of her unit killed on Torfin.
She gets the job done, no matter what the cost.
Is that the kind of person we want protecting the galaxy?
That's the only kind of person who can protect the galaxy.
I'll make the call.
In the year 2148, explorers on Mars discovered the remains of an ancient spacefaring civilization. In the decades that followed, these mysterious artifacts revealed startling new technologies, enabling travel to the furthest stars. The basis for this incredible technology was a force that controlled the very fabric of space and time. They called it the greatest discovery in human history. The civilizations of the galaxy called it Mass Effect.
Arcturus Prime relays in range. Initiating transmission sequence.
Commander?
We are connected. Calculating transit mass and destination. The relay is hot. Acquiring approach vector. All stations secure for transit. board is green. Approach run has begun. Hitting the relay in 3, 2, 1.
Thrusters, check. Navigation, check. Internal emissions sync engaged. All systems online. Drift, just under 1500K.
1500 is good. Your captain will be pleased.
I hate that guy.
Nihilus gave you a compliment. So you hate him.
Naturally.
You remember to zip up your jumpsuit on the way out of the bathroom? That's good. I just jumped us halfway across the galaxy and hit a target the size of a pinhead. So that's incredible. Besides, Spectres are trouble. I don't like having them on board. Call me paranoid.
You're paranoid. The Council helped fund this project. They have a right to send someone to keep an eye on their investment.
Yeah, that is the official story. But only an idiot believes the official story.
I'm going to say that you're overreacting here. I think my character looks okay-ish.
You always expect the worst.
Well, bad feelings are an occupational hazard. But we don't go anywhere unless there's a good reason, so what are we doing here?
Joker, status report.
Just cleared the mass relay, Captain. Stealth systems engaged. Everything looks solid.
Good. Find a comm buoy and link us into the network. I want mission reports relayed back to Alliance brass before we reach Eden Prime.
Aye, aye, Captain. Better brace yourself, sir. I think Nihilus is headed your way.
He's already here, Lieutenant. Tell Commander Shep to meet me in the comm room for a debriefing.
You get that, Commander?
Is he upset?
I'm on my way.
Is it me or does the Captain always sound a little pissed off?
Only when he's talking to you, Joker.
Yeah, who wouldn't be pissed at Joker? Hey! Alright, I'm in actual control of Shep, as I've come to hear people call her. So, I have no idea what I'm doing, so I am definitely going to access that Codex. Alright, player tutorials. I'll probably need to read that. I'll read that off screen, I think. Alright, first up we have personal history summary. This is probably going to be important. You were born on Earth, but you never knew your parents. A child of the streets, you learned to live by your wits and guts, surviving in the hidden underbelly of the megatropolises of humanity's homeworld. Eager to find a better life, you joined the Alliance military when you came of age. You were assigned to the campaign to get rid of the Skylian Verge of Batarian slavers and other criminal elements. The final battle came when the Alliance forces laid siege to Torfin, a slaver base built miles below the surface of a desolate moon. The superiority of the human fleet was wasted in the assault on the underground bunker, when you led a corps of elite ground troops into the heart of the enemy base. Nearly 3/4 of your own squad perished in the vicious close-quarters fighting, a cost you were willing to pay to make sure not a single slaver made it out of Torfin alive. I am indeed ruthless. Then we have humanity in the Systems Alliance. We have a timeline for this. Okay. 2069, Armstrong Outpost at Shackleton Crater becomes the first human settlement on Luna. It is formally founded on July 24th, the 100th anniversary of the first lunar landing. So 100 years after we land on the moon, we now have a settlement on the moon. 2103, Lowell City in Eos Chasma becomes the first human settlement on Mars. I'm probably not going to pronounce a lot of these correctly because they haven't said them. 2137, Eldfell Ashland Energy Corporation demonstrates helium-3 fuel extraction from the atmosphere of Saturn. 2142, construction of Gagarin Station, Jump Zero, begins beyond the orbit of Pluto. 2148, prospectors discover the Prothean ruins at Promethae Planum on Mars. Apparently there were people on Mars. 2149, translations of Prothean data leads humans to the Charon mass relay. Charon's one of the moons, right? Systems Alliance founded to coordinate exploration and colonization of extrasolar worlds. 2151, a shipping accident at Singapore International Spaceport exposes downwind communities to containers of dust form element 0. Alliance begins construction of Arcturus Station. 2152, roughly 30% of the children born in Singapore after Element 0 exposure suffer from cancerous growths. Systems Alliance begins settlement of Earth's first extrasolar colony world, the planet Demeter. And in 2154, Shepard was born. 2155, Systems Alliance occupies completed portions of Arcturus Station as a headquarters. 2156, some children of Singapore exhibit minor telekinetic abilities. 2157, Turians encounter human explorers. First contact war. Occupation and liberation of the human colony of Shanxi. 2158, humans learn potential of biotics. An international effort to track Element 0 exposures begins. Roughly 10% of exposed children show some level of biotic ability. 2160, Systems Alliance Parliament formed. Humans establish embassy on Citadel in 2165. I don't know what Citadel is, sounds important. 2170, Batarian slavers attack the Alliance colony of Mindwar. 2176, the Skylian Blitz. Pirates and slavers attacked Elysium, the human capital on the Skylian Verge. 2177, Thresher Maws devour the Alliance colony of Akuz. 2178, in retaliation for the Skylian Blitz, an Alliance fleet wipes out an army of slavers on the moon of Torfin. And 2183 is now the current date, which would make me, hold on, I can math, 29, 28, 29, you know, depending on when I was born. They let me put that in. So, interesting, 2069, so about 100 years after we colonized the moon. Shepard. All right, gotcha. I'm going to go ahead and read these off screen because I'm sure most of you already know what the hell's going on, and I'm sure it's not going to be interesting to hear me read them. All right, I think I understand what is going on here. At least they told me the controls as I go around, like, you know, movement, basic movement. I am going to be on the keyboard for this, so hopefully things
You probably
go
don't
well.
want to keep the captain waiting, Commander.
Right, of course.
The captain's waiting for you in the comm room, Commander.
Yes, the captain. So, I assume this is kind of like a naval structure where commander is like second in command to the captain. Does anybody have anything to say? No? You guys don't matter? Okay, we'll just move on then. How you doing?
Congratulations, Commander. Looks like we had a smooth run. You heading down to see the captain?
I heard you arguing.
Sounds like you don't trust our Turian guest.
Sorry, Commander. Just having a chat with Adams down at engineering. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. But you have to admit, something's odd about this mission. The whole crew feels it.
What do you mean?
You think the Alliance brass is holding out on us?
If all we're supposed to do is test out the stealth system, why is Captain Anderson in charge? And then there's Nihilus. Spectres are elite operatives, top covert agents. Why send a Spectre, a Turian Spectre, on a shakedown run? It doesn't add up.
So I found out that this is the nice option, this is the default option, this is the mean option? That's kind of mean. I want a sarcastic option that doesn't make people upset at me. At least that's what Fallout let me have. I like that option. Maybe they don't let me have it. Maybe there is, then I'll just find it along the way. I don't know what the left option is, though. They didn't specify that. What does investigate mean? Oh, I can talk about things. All right, let's talk about the stealth systems.
What do you know about the stealth systems?
I just know it masks our location from scans and sensors. Cutting-edge technology.
That sounds awesome.
Normandy's the only ship with this prototype drive. But why are we fully staffed? A skeleton crew would be cheaper, less chance of security leaks too. Plus there's Nihilus. It's pretty obvious this shakedown run is just a cover.
A cover for what?
For what?
Damned if I know, Commander. We're out here on false pretenses. I'm not a fan of being left in the dark.
Yeah, me neither. How come I can't pick that option? All right, let's talk about the captain.
Do you have a problem with the captain?
No, man. But I can't figure out what he's doing here. Captain Anderson is one of the most decorated Special Forces officers in the service. If he melted down all his medals, he could make a life-size statue of himself. You don't send a soldier like that on a do-nothing mission. He's treating this shakedown run too seriously. Something big is going on.
I'll probably be a part of that. All right, let's talk about the Turian Spectre. What's a Turian?
You don't trust Nihilus.
I don't like Turians in general. It runs in my family. My
Racist.
grandfather fought in the First Contact War. Lost a lot of friends when the Turians hit us.
I was about to say, were we at war with the Turians? That was a long time ago.
That was 30 years ago. You can't blame Nihilus for that.
No, I guess not. But it still makes me nervous to have a Spectre on board. Especially a Turian. We're an Alliance vessel, human military, but Nihilus doesn't answer to the captain like the rest of us. Spectres operate outside the normal chain of command. And they don't come along just to observe shakedown runs. Nihilus looks like he's expecting some heavy action. I don't like it.
All right, I'll look into it.
See if I can get some answers when I see him.
Good luck, Commander.
Hey, more Codex stuff. Primary stuff. All right, council races. Let's
Roughly
talk.
1,200 years ago, the Turians were invited to join the Citadel Council to fulfill the role of galactic peacekeepers. The Turians have the largest fleet in Citadel space, and they make up the single largest portion of the Council's military forces. As their territory and influence has spread, the Turians have come to rely on the Solarians for military intelligence and the Asari for diplomacy. Despite a somewhat colonial attitude towards the rest of the galaxy, the ruling hierarchy understands they would lose more than they would gain if the other two races were ever removed. Turians come from an autocratic society that values discipline and possesses a strong sense of personal and collective honor. There is lingering animosity between Turians and humans over the First Contact War of 2157, which is known as the Relay 314 incident to the Turians. Officially, however, the two species are allies, and they enjoy civil, if cool, diplomatic relations.
All right, so they're Klingons. Got it.
Humanity's first contact with an alien race occurred in 2157. At that time, the Alliance allowed survey fleets to activate any dormant mass relays discovered, a practice considered dangerous and irresponsible by Council-aligned races. When a Turian patrol discovered a human fleet attempting to activate a relay, they attacked. One human vessel survived, retreating to the colony of Shanxi. The Turians followed, quickly defeating the local forces. Shanxi was occupied, the first and to date only human world to be conquered by an alien species. The Turians believed the handful of ships they defeated represented the bulk of human defenses, so they were unprepared when the Second Fleet, under Admiral Castany Drescher, launched a strong counteroffensive, evicting them from Shanxi. The Turians mobilized for full-scale war, drawing the attention of the rest of the galaxy. The Council quickly intervened, forcing a truce. Fortunately for humanity, the First Contact War was ended with a diplomatic solution.
Okay, they're nicer than the Klingons then. But that's what they made them sound like in the first one. I'm sure they're different in a lot of ways, but that's what they made it sound like.